The first time I encountered a hacker in the Isle, I was surviving on Spiral, a challenging experience in itself. After countless hours of patience and strategy, I managed to grow into an adult raptor. It was an accomplishment that many players strive for, and I felt a sense of pride as I joined a pack deep in the swamps of the map. Our group was strong, united, and focused on survival, but soon our journey would take a dark turn that highlighted a growing issue in the game. As our pack ventured deeper into the swamps, the prey fauna started to dry up. With little to eat and our stamina waning, one of my packmates suggested we head to the center of the map where food might be more plentiful. It was a long journey, but our hunger pushed us forward. We moved as a unit, eyes sharp and senses on high alert. After what felt like hours of navigating the dense foliage, we finally arrived in the area and spotted two Ceratosaurus on a hill nearby. They were a formidable pair, but we were hungry and determined. Our pack had taken down Cirrus before, and we were confident that we could do it again. We approached cautiously, surrounding our prey with practiced precision, but something was off. The moment we engaged, the Serato moved with a speed that was unnatural, almost inhuman. Within seconds, three of our packmates were dead. Their bodies crumbled on the ground. The Cerato's attacks were too fast, too accurate. One of my packmates managed to yell out, "He's too fast," right before he too was killed. Panic set in. I knew I had to escape, so I bolted towards the nearby forest, but despite my efforts, the Serato was on me in an instant. I was caught easily and killed, my raptor's life ending as quickly as it began. It was only after my death that I realized what had happened. I had just become a victim of a hacker. The speed and precision of the Serato were beyond that was possible in the game, and it left me feeling helpless and frustrated. After respawning, I immediately went into Discord to report the incident to the game's developers. To my surprise, I wasn't alone. Dozens of other players were reporting the same exact Sarah in the same server and map area. The chat was filled with players expressing their anger and disappointment, all victims of the same hacker. As I read through the messages, I couldn't help but wonder what became of the hacker. Was he ever punished for cheating? Did the developers manage to track him down and ban him from the game? These questions lingered in my mind, but I knew that the damage had already been done. My experience was ruined, and it wasn't just me. Many others had their gameplay tarnished by this single hacker. Since that incident, I've come across countless others with stories of hackers in the Isle. They all share similar experiences, players being killed by playables with superhuman abilities, entire packs wiped out in seconds, and hours of progress lost due to cheaters exploiting the game. This is a huge problem, one that threatens the very foundation of the Isle and its community. Hackers in Evrima pose a significant threat to the game's development and its player base. The Isle is a survival game that relies heavily on strategy, patience, and teamwork. Players invest hours, sometimes even days, into growing their dinosaurs, forming packs, and surviving the harsh environment. The satisfaction of progressing in the game comes from overcoming challenges and working together with others. However, when hackers enter the mix, they disrupt this delicate balance, turning what should be a rewarding experience into one of the most frustrating and despair experiences. The Isle is designed to be a challenging game where every decision matters, whether you're hunting for food, avoiding predators, or coordinating with your pack. The game demands your full attention, hackers. However, undermine this experience by introducing unfair advantages. When a player encounters a hacker, all their efforts become meaningless. The thrill of the hunt, the satisfaction of survival, all of it is erased in an instant when faced with a cheater who can outmaneuver, outpace, and outlast any legitimate player. This not only ruins the experience for the individual, but can also discourage entire groups from playing. One of the most damaging effects of hackers is the erosion of trust between players and the game's developers. When players feel that hackers are running rampant and nothing is being done to stop them, they lose faith in the game's ability to provide a fair and enjoyable experience. This loss of trust can lead to players abandoning the game altogether, seeking out other titles where cheating is less prevalent or better managed. For a game like the Isle, which relies on a dedicated community to thrive, this is a serious issue. The Isle has a strong and passionate community, with players forming packs, clans, and alliances both in-game and on platforms like Discord. However, hackers can sow discord within this community, causing rifts between players who are affected by cheating and those who are not. Discussions often turn to complaints about hackers, taking away from the more positive aspects of the game. However, this negativity can overshadow the community's enjoyment of the game, leading to a decline in player engagement and participation. Dealing with hackers is a constant battle for game developers. The Isle is no exception. The developers must allocate resources to identify and ban cheaters, often playing a game of cat and mouse as hackers find new ways to exploit the game. This not only diverts attention from other important aspects of development, such as adding new content or fixing bugs, but also creates an ongoing challenge in maintaining the game's integrity. The presence of hackers can delay updates, frustrate the development team, and you ultimately impact the game's progress. If the issue of hacking is not addressed effectively, it could have long-term consequences for the Isle. A reputation for having a hacking problem can deter new players from joining the game, leading to a decline in the player base. Existing players may also choose to leave, frustrated by the lack of action against cheaters. This decline in the community can result in fewer active players, longer wait times for matches, and less vibrant in-game world. In the worst case scenario, it could lead to the game becoming unsustainable, forcing the developers to reduce support or even shut down servers. Evrima is not just an inconvenience, it's a serious threat to the game's success. For a game that thrives on the immersion of its players and the realism of its survival mechanics, the presence of hackers disrupts the core experience. It's essential for the developers to continue their efforts in combating cheaters, ensuring that the game remains a fair and enjoyable environment for all players. As a member of the Isle community, I believe we all have a role to play in addressing this issue, reporting hackers, supporting the developers, and fostering a positive atmosphere within the community can help mitigate the impact of cheaters. Together, we can work towards preserving the integrity of the Isle and ensuring that it remains a place where players can immerse themselves in the world of dinos, free from the threat of unfair play. Until then, we must remain vigilant and hope that the developers continue to prioritize the fight against hackers. The future of Evrima depends on it. Like and subscribe.